Hinduism is the oldest faith which has survived the vicissitudes of history. It is also called Sanatan Dharma, which means that it was always there and it will always be there. But this can make us complacent. Nothing can be guaranteed to be Sanatan unless we take measures to ensure that it survives in the future also. For that, we urgently need a few important measures. In the first phase, not many, two or three. One is the weakness of Hinduism today is that the Hindu homes are without any scripture. Every Muslim home has got a Quran Sharif and every Christian home has got a Bible. But how many homes of Hindus have got Gita or Ramayana? Not even 1%. So the first necessity is to ensure that every Hindu home has at least one copy of the Bhagavad Gita in its basic form, which does not promote any particular sect of Hinduism, and any Rama story, which are different in different regions of the country. Odisha has one, Tamil Nadu has another. So for 20 crore homes, how many rupees will be required? Imagine. They will read the scriptures only when they have got the scriptures in their homes. You can say, why don't they buy it? Well, that is the problem. They are not so conscious, religious conscious. There are historical reasons for it. So let's come to the next issue. The main pillar of a faith after the scripture is their priestly class who studies the scripture intensely and spreads the message of the scripture among the believers, keeps goading them. I have heard that in the USA, the Maulanas go to the Harvard University hostel and pull out the students on the Friday to take them forcibly to the mosque. So imagine how much particular they are about it, because they are a trained class. We have to prepare a huge crop of priestly class called Dharmacharya, not Panditji. Panditji does not know many things. He is trained basically in astrology and Karmakand. That means Karmakand means sacraments, how to solemnize marriages, how to do this yagya or that yagya, that's all. They do not know the message of the Shastras, the scriptures. They have not read the Vedas. They have not read the Upanishads. They have not read the Bhagavad Gita. So we have to prepare from childhood to adulthood. There should be a uniform curriculum, well-crafted curriculum for these priestly class people who should be trained not just in dharma or scriptures, but also in culture, but also in economic empowerment training. When this crop of Dharmacharyas is ready, in a few years' time, maybe 10 years or 8 years, we will see that Hinduism has become suddenly strengthened. Now, what to do with these people and how will they survive? That is the question. The proposal is that each of them should be given a guarantee of a basic pay of at least 15 or 20,000 rupees as of now. Where do you bring the money from? That is the question. I'll come to that. The third issue facing Hinduism is that the temples in the rural areas, which were made by people of 2 generations back, 3 generations back, they are no more relevant to the sons and daughters and the grandchildren of those people, because over the years they have lost faith in religion. They are not interested in religion. They are secular type people. Temples are liability for them. They want to give it away somehow to somebody, but nobody takes it. If these temples could be retrieved and life could return to them, there could be a great revival of Hinduism in the villages through some imaginative, innovative methods. These trained priests will take over the temples, will earn something from the money given to them, like 15,000 or 20,000 rupees, and then the rest they will earn through their own sacraments and other things, which they usually do. But they will be trained not only in dharma, scriptures, but also in economic empowerment training. They can teach the youth, they can train the women in technical trades and crafts and small scale industries and agriculture technology, and this is possible. Then the temple will suddenly become centers, a throbbing center for culture, economics and religion together, and then more people will visit the temples. Therefore, these 3 things are done, Hinduism will have gained a lot of strength. But how to do these things? That is the question. There is a way to it. Lots of funds will be required. Yes, surely. The way is that the government should come out with a legislation creating a central fund for voluntary donation by the Hindus. Today, I want to donate, he wants to donate, they want to donate. Where do they go? They go to existing temples and give the money there. But what do the temples do with that money? They don't know what to do. They maintain the temples and they maintain the priests the legislation by the parliament will specify the purposes for which the fund is to be spent, and the fund will not be spent by the government. If you allow the government to spend the funds, tomorrow another party will be in power, and you never know this fund will be utilized for what purposes. So this is a fund by the Hindus, for the Hindus, of the Hindus. And let me also clarify that this is not against any faith. Other faiths can also have similar funds through government legislation. They have a right to do that. But we have special problems, the Hindus, as I told you. We don't have scriptures in our homes. We don't have the priestly class. We don't have any funds to help our brothers and sisters who come from Afghanistan, who flee from Pakistan, who are driven away from Bangladesh, and what to speak of foreign countries, even our own states, Kashmir for instance. What happened to the Kashmiri Pandits for so many decades? Who helped them? So we should help our brothers and sisters who come from other countries and even our own states after persecution, torture. Somebody should buy a land for them. Somebody should give a small home to them. Somebody should engage them in livelihood activities. This can be done through this fund, which I am proposing. We have written 4 letters to the government of India and 3 letters to Yogi ji, the UP Chief Minister, who is known for his grit and willingness to act. But this is not really Yogi ji's domain. This is the domain of the government of India. They should come out with a legislation, a law. Government will not spend the money. Government will create the funds. The CAG will audit it. The CAG or their authorized CS will audit it. And a council of saints drawn from various sects and various parts of the country will manage the fund and supervise the fund. They have to spend on the purposes specified by the law. These 3 purposes I told. One is scriptures in every Hindu home. The second, salary to the priests newly trained. And the third, retrieving and maintaining the temples which are abandoned, and to convert those temples in thriving centers of economic, religious and cultural activity. And the fourth is helping our brothers who are running away from various countries due to persecution and torture. And we can keep a part of the fund, like 10%, for helping people of other faith also, poor of other faith also, to help people in disasters without discriminating on the basis of religion. But 90% of the funds for the Hindus, by the Hindus, of the Hindus. If this step is taken by the government, the central government, I can tell you that this will have far-reaching consequences. If you see the geopolitical conditions of the Hindus, they are gradually shrinking in geography and population both. And we don't wake up to the reality. We have seen how over the centuries and decades, the number of Hindus has been declining the world over, and its geography has been constantly shrinking over the centuries. We are sure that if government comes out with this legislation, the details of which we have already sent them, the Sanatan Dharma will remain Sanatan, will remain forever, or else the way it has been shrinking over the last few centuries, or millennia, its future seems to be a little bleak. But I am sure the government will do something, and we shall be able to revive this great faith in the times to come. Hari Sharanam. Hari Sharanam.